Hi everyone, I'm Alex, and I welcome you to my A to scale train layout build. So recently I had a boost of inspiration and decided to start major upgrade works on my layout. This came about after I tried and failed to run a newly acquired train. So I purchased 14 of these Athens Pacific Food Express 57-foot reefers. But the railroad I've built could not handle the train. Because of space limitations, when I was constructing the benchwork for the layout, I tried to keep the depth of the layout as short as possible. So the distance from the back of the layout to the front is 1 meter, which is only 3.2 feet. Considering that this is a continuous run layout, 3.2 feet isn't that much to play with. To get the train to turn around, I had to use very tight curves. The town end of the layout is a bit wider. Originally it was up to here, which is 1.20 meters, and that was because I had to accommodate this over-under arrangement. And then later on I bumped it out to 135 centimeters, which is almost 4.5 feet, to accommodate this interchange track. So even though this end of the layout is wider, it did not mean I could use larger radius curves. It was simply to accommodate more track. So knowing the limitations of my layout, why did I end up buying something that I knew was unlikely to run on my layout? Well, it was a failure of self-discipline, I guess. I saw a good deal, it was shiny, and I just had to buy it. I'm not disappointed at all. This gave me a big boost of motivation to improve my layout, and I'm looking forward to the upcoming works. I constructed my layout using the Pico set track, sectional track, and Pico flex track. The curves on the inner loop are mostly this first radius 14.6-inch radius curves. For the outer loop, I am mostly using second radius curves, and these are 17.2. I also have a couple of 30 radius curves on the layout, on the interchange track, and a couple of them on the outer loop. And these are 19.9. So let's have a look how these cars can negotiate these curves. No chance of putting one of those on the first radius curve. I'm able to put this car on a second radius curve, but it's not happy. It's quite rough. It's binding quite badly, and it's not rolling freely. Also, if I'm not careful, it will actually derail quite easily. The third radius is much better. It actually rolls. I can still feel some resistance, and it sounds like it's still binding. The fourth radius curves are a lot more generous, 22.5-inch curves, and that appears to be the minimum radius that I need to get these 57-foot reefers rolling freely. So my layout upgrade plan is to replace all existing curves with larger radius curves. So on the outer loop, I want to get rid of all second and third radius curves and replace them with the fourth radius curve. And on the inner loop, I want to get rid of all first radius curves and replace them with at least a third radius curve. Upgrading the curves to a larger radius will not only allow me to run more variety of trains, but it will also free up some additional space on both ends of the layout for maybe a larger town, more industries, or maybe more scenery. I don't quite know yet. To accommodate the fourth radius curves on this end of the layout, I need to extend it out quite a bit. So this is a 1.2 meter board, which is 4 feet roughly, and the half circle of fourth radius curve can just fit in, but I need a bit more shoulder space on both sides. So let me move this out by extra 3 inches or so, and that's roughly where the bump out will be up to. It's pretty much a mirror image of the other end of the layout where the town is. So let me now show you 2 track plans of this layout, one as it is now and one with all the changes I'm planning to do. My layout is made up of 2 loops. We've got the outer loop, which is basically a folded figure 8. A train would normally begin its trip from the bottom deck. It will go up the grade, hidden from the view, emerge out of a tunnel, then go over a bridge, do a bit of a run, and then start descending again back to the lower level. Now, admittedly, you don't get to see the train a lot because about 2/3 of its run is unseen. But when I run 2 trains at the same time on the layout, I do not actually want to see both trains at the same time at all times. So this actually does work out well for me. Here's the inner loop, and it's mostly flat with a slight grade along the back straight. And then I have a junction which connects the 2 loops together, so the trains can traverse both loops to extend their run. And here is what I think the track plan will look like once I finish upgrading all the curves. You can see I'm losing this interchange track. With a bit of luck, I may be able to put it back on if I can get away with extending the layout out even further. I would put it back in here, just make it shorter. I haven't really spent enough time refining the middle part of the track plan, so the track geometry doesn't look that great. It's a little bit all over the place. But basically, I'm trying to keep the actual plan conceptually the same. I will just have to spend some time making things look a bit better. So look at this one straight away. So I've got the plan, I've got the motivation, it's time to get to work. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you next time. Bye bye for now.